Thank you for tuning in today. I'd like to welcome our COO, Mike McCullar. If you've attended any of this year's board meetings, you will recognize him from his monthly bond update presentations, which is exactly what we're going to do here today. Welcome, Mr. McCullar.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Our voters graciously passed the 2022 bond in November of last year. And what was the process behind assessing our needs, proposing the bond, and ultimately passing it?
Well, it really started with working through the long-range planning committee, taking input from community members on the needs and the desires of the community.
We've put together quite a few committees dealing with the bond process. We have a bond oversight committee. Can you just briefly explain what we do there?
Well, the bond oversight committee was assembled in order to hear updates, regular updates from the district on the execution of the bond, as well as the finances and all the money movement that goes around the bond. And we meet quarterly with those folks.
What about the long-range planning committee?
So this is a committee that we have put together to hear the community voice on what they see as the best long-term path for the district. They help us plan not just capacities of schools, but locations.
Tell us about the boundary committee. I know you did a lot of work with our boundary committee.
We met with the boundary committee in June through November, over 13 meetings with this committee, several public sessions, several public input opportunities, and on November 13th we took the committee recommendation to the board for the 2024 elementary boundaries and the 2025 middle school boundaries.
Awesome. And I just want to shout out to thank you to that boundary committee. We had some just wonderful people doing some really hard work. So I know that many people are excited, and myself included, about the new schools being built. And can you give us a progress update for these projects? I know we have the Peakview site, which now is Hollister Lake Elementary.
So the Hollister Lake Elementary, we are about 50% complete with our construction. We are sticking to a June 15th substantial completion date. And what that means is, we can allow staff in, we can allow furniture movers to come in and start working on getting that campus ready for students in August.
Next we have Orchard Hill.
So Orchard Hill is following right behind Hollister Lake Elementary, and we anticipate that being open in September, early September. With that said, we will be working with some of our community entities to try to get in sooner to get things ready for students in August.
We also have another exciting school that we're building, and that is the middle school, the new middle school. Can you tell us what the progress on that is?
That school is cruising. We have our north and south parking lots in. We are working on the foundations right now, and this great weather this fall has really helped with the schedule, and so we do anticipate opening this campus in June or July of 2025.
Because of the bond, we have some projects that are already complete. And if you're a Windsor High School football fan, you might recognize one of these projects.
So the first project we actually kicked off on this bond was the Windsor High School turf replacement. The existing turf was 13 years old. Not in great shape for our student athletes. This summer we tore up the old field and put a new, very high-end technical field down, concussion pads. The days of black rubber pellets are going away, and so we decided to take the leap. We're actually infilled that field with a wood chip that actually cools the field by about 30 degrees on a hot summer day.
Something that we take very seriously at Weld RE-4 is the safety and security of our children and our teachers, our staff members. And I know that we have money in our bond that was passed, I believe 7.1 million, that was dedicated to safety and security. Can you kind of tell me where we're at on that?
Certainly. So as a part of that $7.1 million, we told the voters that we'd like to go back and replace our access control systems, our PA systems, and our camera systems in our existing campuses. These projects were kicked off in May of 2023, and we've made great progress. A lot of the existing infrastructure and cameras, controllers, and PAs have been replaced, and we anticipate we'll have all that wrapped up by this coming summer.
And our Tozer school, which is one of the oldest schools in our district, had an issue with their kitchen floor.
We did. So, as old as that campus is, we had some drainage problems, some pipes leaking underneath the slab of the kitchen, which caused some heaving. So we made the decision that we needed to tear the floor out, make the repairs, and replace the floor. At the same time, our food service department put some additional funds in to replace all the equipment in the kitchen. And so it was really a refresh for that campus, that kitchen. We also have the Severance Middle School Classroom Edition. That project will kick off May of 2024. We anticipate wrapping that up the summer of 2025.
And these additions, they were planned originally, correct?
Yes. So the Severance Middle School expansion, it was originally built to 600, but planned to be expanded to 900 at a later date. So we're adding the 300 student capacity wing, a second gym, and expanding the cafeteria to accommodate 300 students at a time. We're also expanding the choir and orchestra spaces.
It's great to be able to give our kids some of those facility needs that will help with their programming and education. Right. Can you talk about the expansion out at Severance High School?
Severance High School was originally built to 800 but planned to 1,200 capacity. And so we are again just carrying out that plan from the past. But we are adding on a wing to the school that will contain classrooms for roughly 400 more students. In addition, we're adding in some career and technical education space, including a ProStart lab, commercial kitchen, as well as a fax kitchen. The ProStart kitchen will be attached to a dining room that our community can rent out from us and have our students serve the community members.
That is so awesome. It's just a way for our kids to showcase their products and their skills. Mike, let's talk a little bit about the Career and Tech Ed Center that is going in out at Severance.
All right, so the CTE Center was originally planned to go across the street, Hidden Valley Parkway to the south side of that, right? We started testing some additional sites around the campus and ultimately ended up landing just west of the gym. We were able to realize some savings on utilities and earthwork just by moving it to that, and it allowed us to put more money into the facility.
That's nice. Also a huge safety concern. That's a busy road.
It is, and we made the decision we didn't want our students walking across Hidden Valley Parkway on a routine basis throughout the day.
It's pretty exciting to see the programs coming in there, and I know that there's a need in the industry. Talk about what programs are going to be in that CTE Center.
Right, so as originally planned, there's an ag component with its own welding shop. We also have a full welding shop for our welding programs. And then new to this is the diesel mechanics program.
That's exciting.
And we have started discussions with Ames Community College to really bolster that program. So we're excited about the opportunities that this facility will provide for our students.
I was just down at Casby last week with our board, and they talked about the graduation rate. If a kid is in one CTE class, it boosts the graduation rate to 99%. It's such a blessing to have these programs in our schools because there's something for every child. Other general upkeep? We
are right in the middle of getting kicked off on the design for some of our roofing and mechanical replacements at Windsor Middle School, Windsor High School, and Skyview. We'll be looking at some of those critical systems and anticipate that work starting the summer of 2024 through the summer of 2025 and wrapping that up.
Everything done by 2025. Thanks so much, Mike, for joining me today. Stay updated on our projects by visiting bond.weldre4.org or join our monthly Board of Education meetings, which are recorded and accessible at weldre4.org. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.